do, Dream Team? It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with the shocking reality of moving to Europe. I'm very intrigued to see what shocking reality we talking about, but before we do that, I need you guys to jump into that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You don't subscribe to any of it? Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. I love talking to you guys, and I'm human. I'll talk back. If you got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. What do you got?
As many of you know well already, we have been exploring Portugal the last few months as a potential place to call home. We visited for the first time last October upon the prompting of our older son Nathan. And after 10 days of hopping around the country, we thought, hey, this place is pretty cool. It's picturesque, full of lovely people, the food is pretty darn good, and it's generally very affordable.
Let's go back to that food real quick, because the food looked too good. The food looked too good.
Lovely people, the food is pretty darn good, and it's generally very affordable. What happened next, looking back, was pretty crazy. We put our house on the market a short time later, sold it within a month, and embarked on our massive move out of the US. Simultaneously, we started the D7 visa process for Portugal, which requires, amongst a vast amount of paperwork, securing a lease for at least 1 year. I marvel now at our commitment to doing all this. I mean, I can understand selling your home and wanting to leave the country, but what we did essentially is put all our eggs in one basket and assume Portugal was it and that it held all the answers. Wow, what a gamble. But heck, at the time we were excited, and without giving it too much additional thought, we booked our tickets and headed straight to Europe.
Wow.
First, we made a quick stop in Paris to visit Nathan, and thoroughly loved spending a couple of weeks with him, supporting him with his new apartment project. In fact, we so enjoyed our time there that we vowed to return and explore France a lot more. Not just because of him, but because it's another incredible country with so much to offer. There's actually a lot more to that I can't share right now, but which I promise will make it into future content. At any rate,
hold on. The way he talking about Europe. Hey, where my bags at? It may get me time to start packing. Portugal, Paris, sounding incredible. Keep talking to me.
I can't share right now, but which I promise will make it into future content. At any rate, by mid-May, we found ourselves finally settling into our new apartment in Coimbra. Pretty incredible, but also the beginning of a wild and crazy new chapter that went something like this. First off, I just want to say that there's a huge difference between traveling as a tourist and being a resident who has actually lived in a place for a while. I know, entirely obvious statement, but somehow we create these fantasies when we first experience a place where we think, yeah, I could totally do this on an ongoing basis.
It's crazy, these people know their food. Oh my goodness. Like what?
Oh, hold on. No, I don't mess with that now. I don't mess with the head. No, I can't eat no kind of heads.
Food. Oh my goodness. Like what? I love these things that you just don't see in the States. Just pure contrast right now.
Facts.
Okay, let's go get some vegetables. It's time to eat healthy again. We're eating out all the time. I'm taken by the size of things.
Yes.
The size, the color.
God dang.
Wow.
It's only when we settle in that reality sets in. It's the only way that we can truly experience a place and know what's going to work for us and what isn't. So early on for us, Coimbra was, for the most part, new and exciting. The food, the pretty views, the super friendly people. And anytime adverse conditions or situations would arise, like something needing to be fixed or dealing with internet issues.
Trying to solve this freaking internet problem. Cannot find the link to the street. Super frustrating.
What the heck?
Need internet.
We were a bit more patient, more accommodating. That all began to change as time went on. As things started to repeat, both good and bad, the new normal became more and more solidified. And accordingly, our patience began to wear thin around those things that weren't working out so well.
So hold on. Would you say we're living large?
We're living.
We're living. But like anything, when it's new and it's fresh, it's awesome, right? Because you're experiencing all these new things, all these different things, and it's awesome. But then once you start to settle in, like you said, you start losing patience for certain things. You start becoming upset because at that point you're settled into life now. But when it's new and it's fresh, it's like a new adventure. It's just pure excitement. When you settle in, those exciting emotions start to wear down. Then you kind of start to see exactly how everything is. I love his perspective on this. The tourist syndrome is what he calls it.
Thanks.
When the new normal has more cons than pros, well, that's when you start having a problem. The pros have to outweigh the cons if you're going to love a place. Now, of course, Coimbra was never meant to be permanent for us, but a temporary spot from which we could scout other areas of the country. However, as with any place, it left an impression on us. And if I can put it a different way, it was a real lesson in embracing discomfort.
Oh, wow. A game of pros and cons.
The apartment in Coimbra itself is spacious, with a lot of light and an amazing view. It's in the old part of town, which has a lot of history and beauty to it. There are a few restaurants that we really love, and an amazing ice cream place that opened up nearby that we became addicted to. All that's fantastic. I always like to highlight the fact that the surroundings of a place matter as much as the place itself. You can be living in the loveliest home, but if you're not happy with the area where it's sitting, you'll always be somewhat disappointed, which is exactly what happened with us in Portland. In Coimbra, the noise was out of control at times. It is a university town, and so it has a very large student population. It's not unusual for kids to be walking the streets in large groups at all hours, chanting and making a great deal of noise. Noise levels reach a climax during graduation.
Yeah, university towns. Yeah, that's not where you want to be around, especially as an older adult. It's just not. It's not your vibe anymore. It's not your. Yeah, I understand what he means. Cause when I was in a university, we would throw parties all the time, all over the town.
Chanting and making a great deal of noise. Noise levels reach a climax during graduation week, where students go literally crazy, celebrating the culmination of their studies. We're talking out of control partying for 7 straight nights, large drunken crowds overtaking the streets, concerts on several nights going until 5 or 6 in the morning and reverberating throughout the town, and a full-fledged parade to boot. So what do? We move to the area right before that happens. Making matters worse, the French doors in our room would not seal tightly. You see, they came off the hinges the day we got there and never got fixed. So not only that we could not control the temperature during the night, we also could not reduce the amount of noise.
Wow. It's 2 o'clock in the morning and the party keeps going.
Add to this
Yeah, that's not the spot to be. Cause nowadays I could, if I try my hardest, I can't stay up past 12, bro. Like I can't. But I remember when I was them kids graduating and in college. Oh my God, I could stay up till the next morning partying. I could stay up partying until the next morning. But now, if it was all that hard, I'd be like, yeah, I'm trying to go sleep. Like the noise, it got to stop. And the moving to that place right before all of that, oh, I feel for him. I feel so much for
the party keeps going.
Gosh.
Add to this that this is also a tourist town, and we were entering the busiest season. So at times we'd be flanked by student mayhem on one side and tourist activity on the other. Did I mention we had a restaurant on that other side? A really good one at that, but a bit of an inconvenience as a resident right next door. I know, I sound old, but you know what? I am. When you're in your 50s, you just don't care about noise anymore. That was something I cared about when I was in a rock band. Not now, not anymore. And yeah, sometimes I like to get loud and you might say obnoxious, especially when I drink a little too much. So I do recognize that when you're in the action, it's great. The problem is when you're not in the action and don't give a damn for it. I mentioned apartment issues earlier, and there were many. Things were either not functional when we got the keys, or would easily break on us. And getting someone over to fix anything was like pulling teeth. We had several people come over repeatedly to assess problems, only to return each time a week later to fix one thing, while meantime 2 new things would surface that would require further assessment, waiting another week, and so on in a seemingly endless loop. Take all these conditions to name a few, and except for a few positives, Coimbra became far from an ideal place to settle into long term.
in search of a good match.
So okay, realistically, we knew we weren't going to end up living in Coimbra. And in spite of that bad taste in our mouth, we kept our focus and embarked on exploring other parts of the country, as originally planned. The first order of business was to head north and explore spots 20 to 30 minutes outside of Porto, our preferred geographical area. We looked at a number of homes, always assessing against a few key desired factors. Was it a well-designed and comfortable home? Was there good access to grocery stores and local parks and everything one needs for everyday living? Was it near the coast, or at least not too far from it? Were there enough good local restaurants to enjoy without the need to go into Porto all the time? Bottom line, did it truly feel like home overall? We only really clicked with a beautiful property in Vila do Conde, but I was not thrilled with the town. Something energetically about the immediate area did not jibe for me. To this day though, Cecilia would literally lift that home up if she could and plop it somewhere in an ideal location. That's how much she fell in love with it.
Dang.
So less than a month later, off we were in the opposite direction, to visit Sintra and its surrounding areas, based on a feeling my wife got to look there again. But once again, something was always off. Either the design of the place itself,
What is this place?
or the location with respect to access to things, or property prices, or some combination of those. Ulgueira in particular caught our attention, an absolutely gorgeous area that was beyond our price range and that felt isolated as well. Lots of lovely towns nearby, but the main action seemed to be farther south in Cascais, which was overflowing with tourism, a complete turnoff. We are not easy to please, I'll be the first one to say it. And so
Yeah. It is. When you looking for the place that you want to live, that you want to settle down, that you want to get older in, you want to find that perfect spot that just accommodates everything. But then at the same time, you also want it to be in the right price range. And so it's hard for all of these factors that they want to be combined. I know it's out there, but it is tough finding that perfect spot for the perfect price.
turnoff. We are not easy to please, I'll be the first one to say it. And so after our run in the south, we left the area thinking, are we not doing this right? Are we not looking in the right places? Does Portugal ultimately not have what we want? I mean, wherever we went, there was this internal, nagging feeling of things not clicking, of not belonging. Hard to explain, but it all harked back to Portland, where we felt like fish out of water in so many ways. So, as we prefer to do these days, we went back to square one and chose to trust that feeling, that inner voice telling us not to settle and to keep exploring.
Back to exploring.
We realized after a certain amount of struggle that this is all about exploring after all, looking for answers until we find what fits what we want, accepting in the mix that things will be messy at times and that there will be many challenges along the way. If we were to settle in any way, that would defeat the whole purpose of leaving the US on this quest to redefine our lives, to design our future the way we want it to be. And it's so important to remember too that the search itself has so much value. It keeps you alive and engaged, discovering things as you go through connected experiences, if you allow those to happen. The way I like to word it, it's about the journey as much as the destination.
Big time.
Each place has
I
something
love that.
unique to offer, and I'm learning to immerse myself in each location so I can walk away with a whole variety of memories that will stay with me for a long time. In the process, I get to spend time with my honey, thankful that I have such an incredible life partner, and sharing special moments together as we search for that ideal place to make a new nest in. The undeniable fact is that we will resettle someday and establish a new boring. The challenge then will be to find ways to shake things up and keep life exciting. As our date to head back to the US to process our visas fast approached, we had more questions than answers. Where should we explore when we return to Portugal? Where will we actually end up? Is there a spot that will fulfill enough of our requirements for us to settle in and live there long term? The future was clear as mud.
I can't wait to keep going with this and see more. I can't wait. To be continued.
So what's going on, Josh?
I didn't mask at the mall 3 days
Because
in a row.
nobody does.
And I thought it was allergies, and then a cold, and then it became this nasty, fatiguing thing. It's obvious. I tested positive, And now my throat. Besides the fatigue, it's the throat hurts. Oh my God, swallowing is hell.
So we're trapped in this gorgeous apartment.
So we can't get shit done. We can't go anywhere.
We
can't
cannot explore. We're having trouble with tech connection of Amazon and getting a phone and
Booking an appointment in San
internet
Francisco.
to get the visa going.
Yeah, which their site is a living hell. So, yeah, few complaints.
But not too bad.
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Give me a big smile.
I love
Big, big,
that.
big smile.
I love those two. It's those two. I just absolutely love them. You can just feel the love between them and how happy they are with each other. No matter their struggle of moving and getting everything, finding all their accommodations together, you can see that they really love each other and they're very happy with each other. And I think that's what I absolutely love. And I really love the fact that they just went out there and said, let's try something. Let's just try to go somewhere else. Let's restart our lives or refresh our lives. I really think that's amazing. I hope they found a place by now. I don't know when was this video. Oh dang, this just dropped recently. It dropped at the beginning of the month, so they probably haven't found anything yet. But I can't wait to react to another video from them because that was really awesome. But that's all we got for this one. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, make sure you can subscribe to Patreon and drop it in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it? Put all the links in the description. All you got to do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy Neal. Out.